Lately, Willem Dafoe has had increased relevance among new movies such as In Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, and Nosferatu, despite his advancing age at 69 years old, and you could say he is going through some sort of a newfound renaissance. The movie we will be talking about today is an underrated gem from 2019 called The Lighthouse that some of you may have not heard too much about, as you could say it has gone somewhat under the radar. But to me, it is the most underrated movie Willem Dafoe has ever played in, and we will talk all about that today. First and foremost, this movie has got great acting performances. Yes, there are only two guys in the movie, but they challenge each other on a very high level when it comes to the raw acting on display. In the movie, Willem Dafoe plays this authentic-looking sailor character that speaks with a dialect that sailors had been known to have at that time, and he really goes in with all his heart and soul into this role. While we have talked about his underrated roles in other movies on this channel before, this role is perhaps one of his all-time best, the way he just rolls into it with true conviction and dedication into being this crazy strict fisherman guy. You see that in all his reactions and his raw acting, how firm he holds himself in this character. It should also be said, lads, that Robert Pattinson also is outstanding in the role as this helper for Dafoe in the movie, which constantly is disciplined and treated poorly. You could also clearly see how he suffers from that, the way you see it in his facial expressions and his raw acting in the movie. Although Pattinson did a very good role as the last Batman, this is nevertheless one of his best roles, where it shows why he might be considered as one of the best actors under the age of 40 years old. When you look at this movie, it is not just like any other rehashed shit or like any other movie that looks similar to everything else. The Lighthouse gives you that feeling of expecting the unexpected, of living yourself into something you really see in new movies today. You don't really see it, because very few take a chance to make something different. But The Lighthouse is just that. It is an attempt at trying to make something different to peel itself out from other movies made today. It does not even matter if it is in black and white. What Robert Eggers does there with this movie is simply a lightning strike of brilliance. Another reason why the black and white feature does not matter is, of course, that the movie has a very high entertainment in itself. One of the highlights in this movie is when they are crazy drunk together, especially when Dafoe lures the other main character to drink and they do all this crazy arguing. Another highlight is about that seagull curse, when Dafoe first said, leave the girl alone, because it is involved in some kind of curse. Because fishermen believe it. It is the curse of the fisherman's soul or something like that. At that time, it is also feel realistic that the fisherman would have had respect for a seagull, thinking killing it would bring bad luck. Of course, Dafoe grows angry when he finds out that he actually killed a seagull, and for that reason, he believed the wind kept on changing. A third highlight is, of course, also when Dafoe seems to lay a curse on the other main character and cries out these vivid words that could easily be mistaken for black magic. Eggers have indeed managed to make this sort of mysterious mood in the movie that leads you in right from the small beginnings of the movie. That hook is something that makes you live yourself into this world of this lighthouse lying on a mysterious rock. What's also mind-blowing about it all is that by the end, the characters do not really know exactly how much time they might have spent on this spooky rock. This mood stays with you right until the very end of the movie, and it is largely one of the reasons why it is so captivating to watch. I will give this one an 8 out of 10, and I simply hope more people in the world can take inspiration from this movie so that we can have more unique movies and directors that could take more chances.